Greetings and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the first build that I will be offering here for New World. It is a Rapier Firestaff build. I love the build a lot. It is a great build. A lot of mobility, a lot of dots, a lot of burst damage. Nice to play. Like, I love playing these really dodgy, kitey, fast builds. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. So let's go over it. So, like I said, we're using a Rapier and a Firestaff. I happen to have a decent Rapier. Could definitely be better. I might be updating this pretty soon. But overall, what you wanna keep track of is your stats. Okay. This is an intelligence build, so we're mostly building intelligence, maybe a little bit in dexterity for a little extra damage on the rapier, but I would say it's like 90% intelligence, and the rest goes into dexterity. So make sure that all your items support that. I would definitely just go for intelligence if you can. This one has dexterity and intelligence, which is pretty decent. The back bar of Firestaff has 15 intelligence. That is amazing. That is a lot of intelligence, and makes a lot of sense here. In terms of how the damage is applied, so since we're stacking intelligence, I got the 150 here, and you know what this does is, of course, the Firestaff only scales with the intelligence. It doesn't scale with anything else, and the Rapier only scaled secondarily with the intelligence stats, and mainly with dexterity. But since we're using gems on our weapons, the gems are going to provide a portion of my weapon damage as arcane damage, and that of course scales with intelligence. So my arcane enchant scales a lot higher than it normally would. And that way, we actually get a lot of damage out of the Rapier. So that's basically how this works. You know, Rapier, secondary stat, intelligence. So it already scales up pretty nicely. You only lose a little bit of damage. But since we have the gems on here, which scale with intelligence, you get a lot more damage out of these gems than you normally would. And overall, your damage is going to be higher than if you only stack the dexterity. And of course, you know, you have the Firestaff, which of course gets a lot of damage from the massive amount of intelligence that we have. Now, I have empowered 2 on both of them, which is the 30% conversion from weapon damage to arcane damage. There is also an empowered 3, which is 50%. That would ultimately be the goal for you. You want to put the strongest enchant on that you can. Right now, I don't think I've ever seen an empowered 3 anywhere. I don't know if anyone has one. If I don't know if people are selling it, but you know, we have some money constraints anyway, so I probably wouldn't be able to afford them. So let's look at the gear. The gear it basically doesn't matter as long as you maintain light armor status, and we're really close here. We're really we're pushing it right now with the light armor, 14.8. So we're just only like 0.2 weight away from actually slipping into the medium armor. So make sure you stay within the light armor spectrum here. So as you can see, while wearing light armor, your dodge roll is a quick roll that covers a lot of distance, and you deal 20% bonus damage. That's nice because this is basically a very glass cannon-y build. We exchange our survivability for more damage. The dodge roll on a light armor build, of course, are these dodge rolls. They cover a lot of ground, which is really nice. And you can also go for the double dodge roll, which is very, very effective in getting away because you maintain that speed. And if you use up all your stamina and your stamina bar goes to 0, it fills up much quicker than when you only use it halfway. As you can see, look, it takes so long just for half my stamina to go up. This is like It's like 5-6 seconds or so for my stamina bar to go up. It's only half of it. But if I use all of my stamina, you can see 2 seconds and the whole stamina bar is filled up. So as long as you're, you know, maintaining a distance to people, I think it is beneficial to just use the double dodge roll, get rid of your stamina, and just get it back within 2 seconds. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're dodging. In terms of the gear, of course, we have three mediums and 2 lights. This is a good setup to, you know, maximize the amount of resistances that you have, because, you know, medium armor has more resistances than light armor. But with the 3 medium 2 light split, you're still staying within the bounds of the light armor setup, which is, like I said, really important. You want to make sure you have your intelligence on the gear. I have intelligence and constitution. This one here has dexterity and intelligence. Optimally, honestly, I gotta be honest, this one here has focus. I would have to probably swap that out. But it's important that you have the intelligence. You got to get your intelligence up. I would kind of like to, you know, maybe try only intelligence. I want to see how this build would perform if I only had intelligence. Of course, my health would be a lot lower due to the missing constitution. So overall, I think constitution is better to have. I'm just very curious how much damage I could put out if I was fully leveled with the intelligence. Just only intelligence on the gear. But yeah, for now, constitution intelligence and dexterity intelligence is the way to go for you. In terms of gems, I have the slash ward, 2% slash damage absorption. I have this on here too, and on this one too. So we have 6% slash damage absorption. Why did I pick slash damage? Because great axes are slash damage, and everybody is running one. Great axe is unfortunately already the meta and the beta, so I went for slash damage absorption for this very specific reason, because literally all I'm fighting out there in PvP are great axe users. So I think that's pretty nice to have. We also have the resilient here, which reduces the crit damage that people do by almost 4%, which is pretty nice. This one, unfortunately, this is like my weakest armor piece. I need to replace that with something better, because this one doesn't have any extra stats on it. But yeah, that's, I think, the best setup right now. A slash damage or a physical damage would be nice too, if you have a physical damage reduction like this one has. But this is only 1% physical damage absorption, whereas this is 2% for a very specific damage type. That is very prevalent though in PvP. So I think it kind of makes sense later on. You know, when the game releases and maybe there's not as much of a very clear great X meta, you could swap this out for a more, you know, a more general a protection gem like the physical ward here. I think a physical ward 2 or physical ward 3 would probably do a lot of good things, because realistically you will encounter more physical damage than magical damage. Not a lot of people go for magic builds, and the ones that do are usually like trolley healing builds, and they're not really meant to kill you. So, you know, it's you got to decide what you want. In terms of jewelry, we actually have a 12 intelligence necklace here, which is really nice, and we have a dexterity and intelligence ring. Optimally, I would love if this was purely intelligence. I couldn't find any pure intelligence rings though. It's kind of hard to get rings these days. I gotta say, they're pretty expensive and they're hard to make. For some reason, they're harder to make than necklaces at this point. Maybe this is going to change, but we'll see. Yeah, so that's that. In terms of potions, I would recommend you use a mix of strong healing potions and strong regen potions, because they can stack. They have separate cooldowns, so that's pretty nice. In terms of food, I have the light meal here, and I also have a travel ration, just in case, right? Just in case. Make sure you keep these up, and make sure you eat them whenever you want to heal up a little bit and you don't want to use your potions. So maybe like after a fight, you took like 20% damage. I think it's more beneficial to just eat another meal than to use one of your expensive potions right now. You know, if you're not in immediate danger, just pop one of these meals and it's going to heal you up to full in a couple seconds. So no need to use the potions, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the weapons, that's the gear. Let's move on to let's move on to the attributes. Like I said, we're going all the way in here with the intelligence. Since I reached the 150 intelligence point, I think I will start putting more points into dexterity here, just to beef up the damage of my rapier a little bit more. I think until we reach 50, and that's where I'm going to leave the dexterity, and I will probably either put more into intelligence for more damage, or I'm going to start putting him into constitution, which I have ignored for the most part because I'm mostly going for the damage, not so much for the tankiness. But of course, a more well-rounded build would probably be better. So, you know, keep in mind, if you want to play this build, maybe put a little bit more into Constitution if you're not feeling comfortable playing with such a low health pool. In terms of the weapons, of course, let's look at the Rapier. I don't have all the passives that I need. Ultimately, you want to go all the way on your skills. So if you have the appropriate skill points to spend, make sure that you take all the passives for your skills here. The first one that we're using is Tondo, which is it's an AoE bleed. You can hit multiple people with this. It's really nice to you know, just apply the bleeds, because we have a couple bleeds on this build, which is very beneficial, because this build can just go in, apply some bleeds, get some more distance, kite around and let the bleeds do some work, and then you can come in and apply either more bleeds or some really lethal burst damage. So Tondo, really nice. Cooldown also not very long on this one, and yeah, that's going to do a lot of bleed damage. The next skill that we have is Evade, which is a little sidestep. It doesn't do much, you know, it's just a teeny tiny sidestep, but the way you use it is pretty nice. So if you use light attacks on your target, it's gonna reduce the cooldown of it. So 3 light attacks is basically gonna give you the skill back, so you can literally just spam light attacks and just evade around your target. You hit him with the light attacks, you evade around them, hit him with a couple backstabs, then your evade comes back up. Comes back on. You just try to maintain the a back position, because of course you get the backstab damage, which is really strong on the Rapier. So make sure you use the evade skill as much as possible to get behind your target and hit him with these nice backstabs. Like I said, get all the passives here. Get the breathe in, the allegro, the adagio, the crescendo. Ultimately, I haven't really looked into these end skills here, because I'm still pretty far away from actually getting them. But I think momentum would be nice. Bloody end, finish deals. Yeah, we're not using finish here, but when I started playing this build, I was using flourish and finish instead of Tondo. It is really nice. Tondo, although I think works better because of the bleed. This one is a really good one. It is a really, really good one. It's a lot of damage. So, you know, if you want to switch it up, you know, you could go for this one, and then also, of course, pick the bloody end. It's just more burst damage, but I think overall it just works better if you have a mix of bleeds and the burst that you can have here. The next ability we have is Fletch, of course, which is a really nice little gap closer. You just swirl through the air. You cover some ground, which you can use to also get away from targets, which is really valuable, actually. You can, like, if you're being chased by somebody, if you have someone behind you and you're running away, what you can do is you can turn around while they're chasing you and go through them, and then you know, run the other way. That's usually something that people don't expect to happen, and they don't react well to this. It takes them a second to realize that you just quickly switched directions. So that's really nice to get people off of you. Keep that in mind. So just for a defensive gameplay, this is a pretty good skill. But of course, it does shine as an offensive skill. So you deal 145% weapon damage, which is a lot. The quick lunge is definitely a passive that you should get as soon as possible. You want to get all the passives, but you know, if you're short on points, make sure this one is in here because this is really important. Killing with this ability reduces the cooldown by 80%. This gets it down to like 2 seconds or something like that when you kill an enemy with that. Really, really nice. So if you have multiple people, not just for PvP, also for PvE, really nice. If you see an enemy with low health, use the fletch, go through them, kill them with it. It's going to put your fletch on like 2-second cooldown. I think it's even less. I think it's like 1.8 or something like that. So you can use it pretty quickly. Again, just go in with a couple light attacks, maybe an evade from behind, and then just do another fletch on the next target. Really, really nice. I love the damage. It hits really hard. Like, I hit people with this for like 500, 600, sometimes 700 damage. That's a lot of damage that people don't expect. And yeah, if you finish him off, you just basically get to use it again within the next 2 seconds, which is amazing. So yeah, when it comes to the passives, take them all if you can. I went with the On Guard here, 10% more damage when your target has greater than 50% health. That's of course nice when you open up on them, and you know, just helps you get there. And of course, you know, this would also apply to the bleeds. So if you put a bleed on a full health target, they're gonna start ticking a lot harder. Yeah, critical strikes reduce all cooldowns by 5%. Red curtains. It's not super important, but I feel like you can actually get a lot of crits with the rapier, so that's not bad. But like I said, maybe it might not be the most important one. This one, on the other hand, 3% haste for 4 seconds on any hit. That is very, very nice because you also get the haste from this one here. Let me see, where is it? This one here, Allegro. 20% movement speed for 3 seconds on use. So you use this one and you get the movement speed, which is amazing. And then of course when you fight people and you use this skill a lot, you're gonna be nice and fast. So yeah, movement speed is key in this game. You know, if you're faster than your opponent, you're most likely gonna win. But yeah, this is the rapier. Like I said, take all the passives, but the skills Tondo, Fletch, and Evade, really nice. Looking at the Firestaff here, we have Fireball. Fireball is actually a really nice skill. When I started playing this, I didn't take the Fireball because I thought it was something else. Because I've seen videos of people shooting like a very slow, long cast time Fireball, and I thought this was that. That's why I never took it. It's not that. I can demonstrate it. It's actually a really good skill. It's a fast attack. You shoot a fireball, it does AoE damage. You can hit multiple people with it. And it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. So I love this skill. It's really nice, especially if you can open up when you see a player, when you see a target. I like to open up with a heavy attack into this one, into a light attack. So that way we have a nice little opening combo. Heavy attack and the fireball are going to do a lot of damage. The light attack is going to apply a fire dot, which this passive causes. Watch it burn. Light attacks cause the enemy to catch fire, dealing 3% weapon damage each second. Really, really nice in combination with this one, because this leaves behind the burning field, and of course people start burning, taking damage when you hit them with this thing. And of course it does a lot of damage up front. So a heavy attack into the fireball, into a light attack poke, great opener on a target that's like at a mid-range. You want to make sure, of course you can technically use this at any range. It's hard to hit on a distance because the fireball has a trajectory. It's kind of hard to aim then. And you know, when you're in a melee situation, you might not want to go for a heavy attack because that opens you up and makes you kind of vulnerable. But fireball you can use at close range too. It's actually pretty easy to use at close range because if someone's right in front of you, you just put that thing right on the ground. You just go in here. You just go in here and just give them the business. So if someone approaches you and they're like close to you, just put that thing right in front of you. And yeah, they're gonna hate it because it's a lot of damage. The next one that we're using is Burnout, which is a great gap closer or gap extender if you want. You know, you can use it to get like closer to a target, away from a target, but the actual use case for this is you want to go through a target. That's how you do it. You want to go through a target. It deals a decent chunk of weapon damage. And yeah, it will make your targets burn for 10% each second, which pairs really well with this. This is a 30%. Then you get the burn from the fireball here too, and you have the bleed from your Tondo on the Rapier. Yeah, that's a lot of bleeds. That's a lot of bleeds. People take a lot of damage from this, and which is nice because you can put all these bleeds on, and then back off and let the bleeds do the work for a moment. Which helps you recover, and this already might put your opponent on the defense. If they have if they take the initial damage and have the dots ticking on them, they realize that you know, shit is about to hit the fan. So they might not even go offensive anymore. They might go on the defense, which gives you the option to just work freely on them while they're trying to get away from you. But honestly, it's hard to run away from this build. Because you know, of the amazing speed and catch potential that you have. So one thing that I usually do is I go for the evade into a dodge roll into a fletch. That's usually like a combo that I like to do. And then you're free to swap over, cast your Firestaff ability, and really catch up to people. Another thing that's really nice is there's a nice Firestaff passive that this one here, combat speed. When you activate a Firestaff ability, you gain 10% haste. This is amazing. So after you've done your little fire gap closer, you get 10% speed. But this also works with the fireball, of course. You cast the fireball, and you get extra speed, which you can, of course, use to catch up to somebody, try to hit someone with the fireball, or if you're just moving around the map, doing some gathering, doing some questing, make sure you constantly use your skills to maintain that speed. This actually adds up to a lot of extra speed. Having the gap closers, having the haste up at all times, this really helps you get across these giant parts of the map where you just, you know, you can't do anything else but run because you don't have any fast travel points. So yeah, keep that in mind. A lot of movement speed on this build as well. When it comes to the passive, of course, like I said, use all of them. You should make sure you probably use, you probably put points into this one first. All in reduces the Firestaff cooldowns by 5% for each enemy that you hit. This might not do too much for you in a 1v1. If you're fighting multiple people, or even like in PvE when you have multiple enemies that you pulled into like a big pull and you hit them all, it adds up. It adds up quick. So yeah, keep that in mind. But this one is the most important one. Heat it up, your burnout goes 50% further, which is really nice. 50% extra range on that thing. Helps you catch people, helps you get away from people, and makes it a lot easier to actually land the burnout on somebody that you actually want to hit. Outside of that, like I said, watch it burn and combat speed are really important. You should definitely have those. Let it burn is okay. When burn deals damage, 10% fortify. You can't go wrong with that. It gives you extra tankiness. While holding Firestaff and below 50% max health, damage is increased by 20%. So, you know, in the heat of the moment when the fight's going on, you can hit really hard with the Firestaff. People are going to be surprised. Uh, I took out people with like a heavy attack, a heavy attack fireball combo. When because they don't expect you to do that much damage, especially when you're low health. People get aggressive. They don't pay attention to the defense anymore. They just want to get you. And if you can just hit them with like a nice beefy combo that they don't expect, they just die instantly. They never saw it coming, and you live another day. Outside of that, fiery restoration, heavy attacks reduce fire stuff cooldowns by 10%. That goes well with this one here, and you know, it's not super important, but it's nice to have. Clear mind, while above 50% mana, you gain 10% empower, so that's another 10% damage boost. As you can see, Firestaff has a lot of damage, and you will see that in the PvP clips that we're going to be watching in a second. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So these are the important skills. For your third skill, I'm currently not using a third skill. For your third skill, pick what you want. I gotta be honest, all the other skills are not very... they're not very sexy for this build. They don't really make a lot of sense. So, you're free to pick whatever you feel benefits you. I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna pick a third skill. I might try a couple, see if there's a synergy. But overall, you know, the Fireball and the Burnout, these are the important ones because, you know, Burnout really plays into the speedy playstyle of this build. The Fireball is just a ton of damage. You can hit a lot of people. Like, if you see a lot of people fighting in one place, maybe like in a fort fight or something like this, pop this thing right in the middle. They all take a lot of damage. It's a nice way to break up groups too. Like, if you see a group, maybe you're playing some group PvP, and you want to make sure you can single out some people, and you want to make sure that they're not stacking up too much. Go with the Fireball, just pop it in there. People are gonna spread out because they don't want to sit in the burn, right? Because if they stay in the burning field, they're gonna take a lot of damage. So that's a really nice tool to break up people. And then, you know, once they break up, you can pick one and just single them out and just go for them. Anyway, that's the build so far. I hope you like it. Really nice playstyle. I love this. I love the speedy, bursty playstyle that this offers. A lot of mobility, a lot of damage, burst damage, dot damage. And yeah, just like it makes you feel alive playing a build like this. I will leave you with a couple PvP clips here so you can see the build in action. And that's all I got for you today. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll be back with another video soon. Take it easy, everybody. Bye. Oh, a PvPer. Die! Piece of shit! Players don't want you, the game doesn't want you. Ripper! What do you got? Officer's hat of the fighter? Oh, I take it. I take it. Look at me. Already a PvP bully. Already full bully mode. A fucking PvE softy jerk-off fest again. Where everybody just stands there, is safe, they can't be attacked. They're doing their fucking... Oh, PvP. Level 25er. Get back here, son. Oh my god, I'm so slow now. Firestaff Rapier, best build. Change my mind. Just kidding, you can't. It's the best build. No, he rezzed him! You stay down, bitch! You kidding me? Come on, heal! No! Dodge roll out of it! No! No! No, fuck me. I don't have the... No! Can I heal? Where's the heals? I'm constantly spamming my heals and I can't... What's going on? Do I not have heals anymore? Like... Yeah, actually, yeah, I ran out of my fucking regen pots. Fuck me, dude. I ran out of the regen pots.